some interesting wildfowl on the lake overwintering, but the day off today, not much else to do, so I thought I'd pop up here, have a look, see what there is to see, and do a brief broadcast here on HAPS to see what we can share. It'll be interesting to see what the mobile signal quality is like for broadcast. So do shout if it's really badly pixelated and that you try going to a different part of the site. But what we'll do is we'll have a quick look at the lake, see what there is on there. So I'll just turn the camera around. So you can see out here the lake and various birds sitting upon it, quite a lot of coots, some swans, some grey-lag goose, some Canada goose, a grey heron over there, all rather distant, but we'll try and zoom in a bit on some things, I suppose. Where am I looking? Well, there's a swan, really distantly. So have I got that where that is? It's just if I go this way, somewhere on there. There we go, there was a grey heron. These are bad quality images even on my screen, so I don't know what it's doing through the compression. There we go. And on the water surface here, you might be able to see lots of little black dots, which are pond skaters. Insects that live on the surface of the water. Some moderately close, so we'll try zooming in. And you can see they just sit there basically running around on the surface tension of the water. Not actually a group I know much about. I think they're true bugs, Hydroptera, but I may well be wrong on that. They're not a group I particularly know about. But pond skaters and that ability to sit on the surface of the water and then detect through their feet on the water any ripples from anything that's fallen in the water that's not coping as well, any other little insects, and rush over and eat them. And there's quite a large group of them out on the water surface here. Quite a few in this little patch, which is interesting. If I zoom back out, you get a better sense of the size of the clump. Oh, there's a really interesting fly just landed on my camera. There's no way I can show it to you because it's sitting on the phone and I can't make the phone point at it, but it's rather pretty. Black and white with red eyes. I'm not very good at identifying flies, so no idea what it is really. But there it is, this is Stockers Lake. There's a cormorant just flown over. And there's a great crested grebe flying at the back. Wood pigeon just flown through the screen there. Lots of coots, which are the black and white birds, the black birds with the white heads that you can probably see swimming around on the water there. Very common. And lots of Canada goose. Quite a few grey-lag goose. There were some Egyptian goose around as well. Haven't seen any of them. Some great crested grebe. So it's quite a nice site, quite nice to have a bit of a wander around just to see what there is to see. Generally try and work out what's around. Have a brief wander up and around the top of the lake to the other side. See if there's anything else that we see. So we'll head off now. Morning as well. It's coming into that time of the year. Pick one. Have some lunch. Very blackberryish. So quite a lot well into fruiting now and well into being edible. some fairly decent ones there. Wandering up this way. Got a bit of a river off to the side here, and it's a somewhat controlled river with weirs and such like in to control it, so you can see a bit of structure there and a bridge. We're not going to go over there today, that will take us to another lake, Springwell Lake. It's also a nice lake to have a walk around, but that's not where I'm going today. So we'll wander further this way. So, not really looking for anything, Fiona, I'm just having a general wander. Got a day off work, so I thought, why not head up somewhere and have a general kick around, see what's about. I'm trying to think if I've ever visited this site in summer months before. I tend to come here in winter for the waterfowl. The lake's rather good for overwintering stuff. I've bothered much less in summer if I've ever come here in summer. Did come here to twitch a little bitten once. That might have been summertime. I can't remember. And there's a bat box hanging in the tree. Providing somewhere for the bats to live. And we're coming around to basically the side we were looking at from before. A bit closer to some of the birds, so for a quick skimming on these Canada geese. Very common birds, of course, and there are an awful lot of them here. But there we go, a couple of Canada goose. And then you've got off to the left, we've got, I think it's the river off to the left. And on the other side of the lake there's the Grand Union Canal, which is the same canal that goes past my regular patch, Horsenden Hill and Perivale Wood, where a lot of these broadcasts I do come from. So it's not really a large distance away, it's another part of the site, another part of the area. It's got a lot more water than the site I regularly visit. So obviously for waterfowl or things that live in the water, places like this give me stuff that I'm not seeing as much of. And again, on the water surface there, lots of those pond skaters. Quite large groups of them, just sitting on the surface of the water there. Let's cut through here and have a look onto the river. There's quite a lot of people come fishing here, so a lot of these paths have been cut through by people wishing to go fishing. In fact, I think there's actually an organised fishing club that uses it, and they have their numbered pitches where you can go and catch your fish. But it just does mean that a place where, as long as there's not somebody fishing here, you can wander out onto the edge of the river and have a look. See what, if anything, is caught. There's a warbler of some kind call chirping away, doing its contact calling. It's probably chiff chaff by the sound of it. And there's a banded demoiselle on the other side. This will never show up, I can almost guarantee, on the camera. But we'll zoom in stupidly much and we'll have a look. Now, is it still there is the next question. Oh yes. Okay, so where I'm sitting, it is just above that willow which is in the foreground. Let's see if we can find it. This is challenging to do. Wow. Okay, let me find it relative to that. Excellent. Okay. So by my reckoning, that's actually it in the centre of the screen now, but there's no way you'll be able to make that out. I'm so zoomed in I can't make it out on my screen. So, but a banded demoiselle, rather an attractive metallic blue damselfly with dark blue patches on its wings. At least that's the male, which is what we had there. Yeah, I would be very surprised if you could, Fiona. As I said, I couldn't even see it on here. I'll let these people wander past who probably don't want to appear on the internet. So we'll stand here a minute or two more so unless some people wander down the path. That's my first banded demoiselle of the day, so that was nice. To make sure I write the record down so it gets submitted to the relevant recording scheme in due course. Right, they've wandered past, so we'll wander by. Oh, butterfly. Green veined white butterfly just flew through. And there's lots of mint down here, one of the mint flowers. Let me pull a leaf off and smell it. It smells really minty. Not very good at plants, but they're good for insects. There's a honeybee, I think, here having a visit to this mint. Several honeybees on it, in fact. Perhaps I'm making some nice minty honey for the beekeeper. It can be quite a good nectar source, can they? The various mint plants. There's another bat box on here, slightly different design. Rather an old one. I suspect that may well not be in use by bats. Look a bit further on. Yeah, there's the sign for the fishing club. So it's a private fishery, so you can only fish here if you're a BCAS member. I have no idea what a BCAS is, but if you're a member of it, you can fish here. And then back out towards the river again, just up there. Quite nice to see the trees sort of falling through and growing through the river, and just creates an interesting habitat, being something solid there that some of the things that live in the river can hold on to. So it will have probably different water creatures associated with areas like that where you've got the wood in the water than it is with the open. Not a very fast moving river, although I'm not sure I'd want to wade across it particularly. I'd get rather wet. And yeah, let's wander a little bit further See what else there is to see. There's one of the swans a bit closer in. Let's see if it's going to behave. So there we've got one of the swans. Lots of people here feed birds, so they often come in to have a close look at you. And some of the swans here have colour rings on them. Project where they put a plastic colour ring around the leg with a code on it, letters and numbers, and that means if you observe this bird, we know which bird it is, and the scheme it's recording can get that. So it does appear to have one. So I'm going to try and read that ring whilst I'm talking to you. It's on the wrong side. It's always on the wrong side, but it always stops with its legs the wrong way around. But hopefully in a minute it'll turn around and let me read that ring. Come on, be good. That's what you want. Come on. It's 4. Come on. 4AFV. 4AFV. I will forget that unless I type it, so I'm going to type it into the chat because I haven't got a spare hand. And there we go, it's a swan. See, it's obviously thinking I'm going to feed it rather than put it on the internet. But there we go. Come down here and have a close in look. There we go. Get on a level with it. So that's swan 4AFV, and later on today I will send the details of that ring to the man who put it on, and he'll be able to tell me where the swan's been, how old it is, and all of those sort of things. I suspect it spent nearly all of its time here in the neighbouring lakes. Most of the ones we report do. But of course it tells them things about both how the birds are moving around, how they're distributing, how long they're surviving. So it's all useful scientific data. Anyway, I think stopping here with this swan is probably a good place to end the broadcast on. So, let's do that, and let's stop having a look at Mr. 4A, or possibly Mrs. 4A. I think it's a Mr. looking at that knob in its head.